Hey, shalom, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, call halal Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Yahweh. Double honors. Of course, go out to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who continue through the Holy Spirit to give us His truth, knowledge, and wisdom. All right. But of course, you getting the understanding, you have to pray for that. You have to pray to the Holy Spirit to provide that to you. We cannot help you with that. As the scriptures say, we plant and water to paraphrase, but it's up to the Most High to, or Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, all right, to provide the increase, all right. Well, that's something I'm sure all of you know by now, but hey, this thing is heating up. This just came out today from CBS News. It says New York City requiring the C19 juice for police officers, firefighters, and other city workers. Privilege comes with a responsibility. So now they're playing on your emotions with this shit like they've been doing, all right? It says New York City will require police officers, firefighters, and other municipal workers to be juiced, all right, or be placed on unpaid leave. You know how much it costs to live in New York? All right, and this is from the mayor, de Blasio, all right? He says he's giving an ultimatum to public employees who refused in ensuring a fight with some of the unions representing them. The mandate affecting the nation's largest police department and more than 100,000 other New York City workers, including trash haulers and building inspectors, carries a November 1st deadline for getting the first bit of that juice. So you got 2 weeks. Hell no, you got 10 days. Damn. 10 days. Damn, this year's been going by. Oh, damn. It says jailers on Rikers Island, where the city has been grappling with staffing shortages, creating unsafe conditions, will be subject to the mandate a month later, December 1st. All right. It says of the workers affected by the new mandate, 71% have already received at least one dose of the juice. All right. The city previously mandated vaccines for public school teachers, and state has previously mandated the juice for hospital workers. City workers who get their first shot by the 29th of this month, October, at a city-run juice site will get an extra $500 in their paycheck. Well, damn, $500. Workers who don't show proof by the 29th will be placed on leave. There's no greater privilege than serving the people of New York City. And that privilege comes with a responsibility to keep yourself and your community safe. Still selling that bullshit. Alright? Imagine if you bought into that, hey, that's you. I mean, de Blasio had been weighing a juice mandate for the police and fire departments and other city agencies for several weeks, sure. It says his announcement came amid new uproar over NYPD officers defying even simple measures. Now get this, like wearing face masks. On Monday, 2 police officers were seen on video shoving a man out of a Manhattan subway station when he confronted them for flouting rules requiring they wear masks. So the police said, fuck that bullshit. But here you had a concerned citizen. See, this highlights this division. All right. Wow. So let's get scriptures. This is beautiful. That's why I'm laughing. This is beautiful. This is Isaiah 19:2, and it says, "And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight every one against his brother, and every one against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom." All right. So let's go into that word set. All right. And that's sakak. Sakak. All right. Alright, Strong's H5526. To hedge, fence about, shut in. To block, overshadow, screen, stop the approach, shut off. Okay. To screen, cover, to cover oneself, protector. To cover, defecate, euphemism. Alright. Now here's the point. In Roman numeral 4 it says to weave together. To weave together. So I was like, To entwine as a screen, by implication to fence in, cover over. Okay. But I thought I would get the meaning. I would go outside and let's just look up mingle. Alright? To mingle. That's another word when you get into definition. As a synonym, it means to mingle, to set, in this case, in the context of that scripture, to mingle. Alright? It says when things mingle, that means they mix together while still retaining their individual qualities. So it's not a melting pot of, in the sense that for the most part, when you say that what's expected when you say mingle, you think everybody's in one accord. No, in this case, they've retained their individualism to the point where not everyone's going to agree with everything. So now in this topic, when we're talking about this mandate for this, we know it's bullshit, it's pandemic. You have people on one side and you have people on another side, and they are not going to mix. Alright, so that's where we're at odds. So it says, let's see, we scroll down. It says verb to be all mixed up or jumbled together. Alright, synonym jumble. Another synonym amalgamate, co-mix. Alright, let's see. They just can't get along for anything, alright, because you got, and this was prophesied, alright, so now you got all these people at odds with, well, those that are for this system, and they're like, just do what you gotta do, just go ahead, take this job, not considering, because they're inconvenienced, alright, not considering the long term. Alright, what they used to say, damn it, I can't remember what I was going to say. I lost my train of thought, Salaki. But not considering the long view. Alright, what could happen down the road, this is an experiment. They don't even know. They're coming up with all these. I just heard something the other day about, they trying to study now the effects of this juice on, as it, goes to women's menstrual cycles and all this, and with pregnant women. I'm like, this is ass backwards. This is something that ordinarily would have been done over a number of years in a study. So that lets you know that this was just put together because what they're telling you is not true as to why you're getting this juice. Alright, it has nothing to do with no damn so-called virus. Alright, because people are still getting it, and people are, dying of other things other than, I think, what they're saying. So people are dying of blood clots and other shit. Alright, and they're using this token, Colin Powell, who just passed, because he had multiple myeloma, something to do with his blood, and he succumbed to that, and he was double vaccinated, So, in other words, they're trying to play down the negative effects of the shit that everybody's getting, and they're coming up with all kinds of excuses, and the dumbasses are believing it. Alright, but you have other people on the other side that said, no, this is bullshit, because they know that, You're just hearing one side of it, all right? And all this shit is about to come to a head because this is the wrong time of the year for saying people you're gonna put you out on unpaid leave, all right, for some bullshit like this, all right. Especially you're talking about your um, what are they classified as? Public safety workers, all right. You got your police and firefighters and others, all right. So that's not going to it's not going to sit very well. Like I say, this is a highly, highly dangerous time. All right. Once again, we read that. This is Isaiah 19:2. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight every one against his brother, and every one against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. Let's go from there. Let's go to Mark 3. Scroll on down here. We'll start at 24. It says, and if a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand. 25, and if a house be divided against itself, which in this case is what we're talking about, that house cannot stand. And if Satan rise up against himself and be divided, he cannot stand but hath an end. Alright? There you go. So what do you do from here? Where do you go from here? Let's see what's left of the article. I like to get the comments. It says, okay, this, I don't know, depending on who you talk to, hey, he confronted them. They're supposed to be, you know, public servants. Why aren't you wearing your mask? I see it all the time. I don't say shit because, you know, fuck it. They know it's bullshit. Alright? It says NYPD's vaccination rate has lagged behind the rest of the city, with some officers flat out refusing to get the shots. Unions representing officers contending that getting the vaccine is a personal medical decision have suggested they'll take legal action to fight a mandate. About 69% of the NYPD's workforce is vaccinated, compared with 77.4% of adult New Yorkers who have been fully vaccinated. The NYPD has about 34,500 uniformed personnel and about 17,700 people in non-uniform support positions. More than 60 NYPD employees have died, you know, that's what they say, of supposed C-19, including 5 patrol officers, 8 detectives, and the former chief of transportation. The fire department, of course we know that it was something else, but they just listed it as that. And they've been caught doing that. It says the fire department, whose EMTs and paramedics were working around the clock in the early days of the pandemic, lost 16 workers to the virus. Yeah, whatever. Police Commissioner Dermot Shea and Fire Commissioner Danielle Negro have said they support a juice mandate, with Shea telling reporters earlier this month that given the emergency situation that we're in, it makes sense. Oh boy. Anyway, New York City's mandates come as other cities are starting to punish and even fire first responders who fail to meet juice requirements. In Seattle, 6 police officers and 11 firefighters are slated for termination after that city's juice mandate took effect Monday. Another 93 Seattle officers and 66 firefighters were sidelined Tuesday while seeking religious or medical exemptions. Now, all these doctors and other medical personnel who are more than educated to make a decision like this, if they're telling you, of course we know a lot of them is cases like that are not being reported, but from the ones that we know or are aware of, shouldn't it give you pause that people that are involved in this profession, if they're not willing to take it and put themselves on the line, doesn't that say a lot as to whether you should get something or not? Wow, Wow. And they were waiting on that so-called FDA uh, approval. Well, let's go into that. Let's see what I have to say about that shit. This is as soon as it loads, and this is from a doctor. His name was Herbie Lay. He was a former commissioner of the FDA. It says the most stunning medical quote ever made by a Harvard professor. The crap. The FDA protects the big drug companies and is subsequently rewarded. In using the government's police powers, they attack those who threaten the big drug companies. The thing that bugs me is that people think that the FDA is protecting them. It isn't. What the FDA is doing and what the public thinks it is doing are as different as night and day. Like, dang. Straight forward and to the point. Put all your faith in all these government entities that are wicked from the go. Alright, let's watch this little video here. I think I got it ready. Let's see here. Oh shit. Hold on. For some reason I'm not getting sound. It says unvaccinated first responders lose their job. Come on now. What the hell is going on?
Amazon employees earn at least.
So lucky, I'm gonna pause it for this commercial here. They make you sit through this shit. This has nothing. I mean.
Well, tonight we wanted to take a look at the first responders in America who are willing to lose their jobs instead of following COVID vaccine mandates. And with police and fire departments already stretched thin, many are wondering, what does this mean now for public safety? CBS's Jeff Begays takes a closer look.
I'm wrapping up my last shift after 20 years.
On his last day as a Spokane, Washington firefighter, Tim Archer recorded this message.
I'll be fired tonight by the city of Spokane.
He joins about 20 other colleagues who have also been relieved for resisting the state's vaccine mandate. Why didn't you comply?
I really felt like this is in violation of the civil rights that God has given us.
Firefighters and police officers in cities like Chicago and Los Angeles are also being given the ultimatum: get vaccinated or lose your job. Officials say vaccine mandates for city workers are necessary to protect the community. But in many cities, rising crime is the primary public safety issue, now coupled with a lack of policing.
Unfortunately, our hiring has not been able to keep up with attrition.
Sergeant Randy Huserick of the Seattle Police Department, where detectives have been forced to pitch in and go on emergency calls.
We have, over the last year and 10 months, had in excess of 300 officers separate from the department.
In Massachusetts, the state police union believes at least 150 state police officers will resign. What kind of impact could this have if you lose 300 troopers?
It's going to be felt everywhere. We'll have slower responses. There'll be case backlogs. You're going to see less troopers responding to critical incidents.
Officers and firefighters were hoping that cities and states would have chosen a path where it wasn't all or nothing. That's how they see these mandates. They believe a more suitable alternative would have been to offer regular testing for those who didn't want to get vaccinated.
Such a critical story. Jeff Begays, thank you.
There you have it. All right. Let's see. Some smartass here says, this is Michael Harris says, bravo, well done. This will save lives. I can't even put into words how happy this makes me feel. Alright. Judy Weisensell says, he's a dictator. I guess she's talking about Biden. Well, they were going to find a way to gut the police, and now they will. Oh, man. Lilith Lily says, honest truth and the whole truth, it is unlawful to force, coerce any type of medication without a legal signature approval by a licensed doctor's office, by which the juice and its injections are absolutely void, null, and cancelled. Do you really want to hurt me? And it's got those oh emojis, boy. That's funny. Okay. But you know, hey, like I said, this makes for some interesting weeks, months, whatever have you, coming up. You've also got this disruption in the you know, the goods getting to the stores and everything. Very interesting times. Alright, so here's the thing. Who do you put your faith in? Alright. Clearly you see this is some bullshit and this place is falling apart. Alright. So, a lot of our people are going to look to certain institutions, alright, and still have faith that this place is going to continue on. Why would you want that to be so? I have no idea. Alright. So many of our people have their heads so far up these Edomites, the so-called white man's ass, they're never going to get it out. Alright, but you need to know that no amount of money, no amount of gold, none of that is going to save you for what's coming. Because the simple fact of the matter is, this money system that we were all raised in, you know, it's old, it's tired, according to the powers. I'm talking about the elite banking families. Alright, they want something new, and they want more control over everybody. In order to do that, everything has to go digital. This is what this is all about. Alright, you got everybody looking one way, concerned about this bullshit ass magic virus. They want everybody to get, you know, to become juicers. Alright, so we got the distraction going that way, you got everybody looking that way, but the real threat is this new money system that's coming. Alright, because you're not going to be able to do anything. I mean, it's just more than the money. I hope people realize that. Alright, you're not going to be able to do anything without them. In other words, they're trying to be God. That's why in this time we bring up 2 Thessalonians. Actually, in order for you to understand that, I got to get Ezekiel 28, because this man has all control of all the riches on the planet. And what has he done with them? This is Ezekiel 28:1. It says, the word of the Most High Yahweh came again unto me, saying, Son of man, say unto the prince of Tyrus, thus saith the Most High Yahweh, because thine heart is lifted up, and you know these are proud devils, and thou hast said, I am a God. I sit in the seat of God in the midst of the seas, yet thou art a man and not God, though thou set thine heart as the heart of God. Behold, thou art wiser than Daniel. There is no secret that they can hide from thee. Think of all his sciences. You know, he builds these elaborate satellites so he can look out into space. All right, he's exploring the seas. You know, all his sciences, whatever discipline you can think of. You know, he performs a diligent search. You know, he says, "Behold, thou art wiser than Daniel. There is no secret that they can hide from thee. With thy wisdom and with thine understanding, thou hast gotten thee riches, and hast gotten gold and silver into thy treasures. And yet, there's hunger crisis throughout the world." All right. Why? Because the nation of Edom are a race of devils. With thy wisdom and with thine understanding, thou hast gotten thee riches, and hast gotten gold and silver into thy treasures. By thy great wisdom and by thy traffic hast thou increased thy riches, and thine heart is lifted up because of thy riches. Now, how else? You got to factor in this too, that he got all his shit by rape, robbery, and deceit, and that's why we have to go here. Because he knows his time is short, like we say, but you have to also consider, this is Sirach, or Ecclesiasticus chapter 10, verse 8 says, because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. Alright? He's in he's just wicked. There's not a righteous bone in this devil's body. He's incapable of doing good. If he does it, it's by accident, or he's got ulterior motives. Alright? It says, verse 5, by thy great wisdom and by thy traffic hast thou increased thy riches, and thine heart is lifted up because of thy riches. Therefore thus saith the Most High Yahweh, because thou hast set thine heart as the heart of God. Behold, therefore I will bring strangers upon thee, the terrible of the nations, and they shall draw their swords against the beauty of thy wisdom, and they shall defile thy brightness. They shall bring thee down to the pit, and thou shalt die the deaths of them that are slain in the midst of the seas. Wilt thou yet say before him that slayeth thee, I am God? But thou shalt be a man and no God, in the hand of him that slayeth thee. Thou shalt die the deaths of the uncircumcised by the hand of strangers, for I have spoken it, saith the Most High Yahweh. There you go. Alright. He really thinks that he is a God. And then what? His house is going to continue on, as Psalms 49:11 said. You see these commercials, how they're talking about what they're going to do in 50 years from now, 100 years from now. That's pride. Alright? Hey, so with that, I'm going to shut it down here. I didn't mean to go this long, but hopefully whoever watches this, hopefully they're edified. Again, you need to start paying attention. Alright, because things are getting tight. People are on edge. I often state in my videos, keep your head on a swivel, meaning be circumspect. Because there's been a whole lot of shootings. Just, you know, watch out when you're around in crowded places, you know. Because that's something these Edomites are known for. Alright, they want to take as many as with them as they can, you know. So with that, Shalom. Shalom.